plate securely fastened. Make sure the seat belt is not frayed or torn and that it latches properly. All safety labels and instructions must be in place and readable. The overhead guard and load backrest extension are important safety features. Make sure they are in place and secure. Finally, complete and file an operator checklist and report any defects to your supervisor in writing. If you're on the job and notice that your truck is unsafe to operate, park it and tag it out of operation. Report specific problems to your supervisor. Remember, failure to do this could cause injury to yourself and to the employees working around you. Rules of the road. If you decide to ignore them, you endanger your life and the lives of others. There are federal laws that have established rules for lift trucks. OSHA requires that you be trained and authorized by your employer to use a specific lift truck. Here's how the Industrial Truck Association has classified lift trucks. They fall into 7 main categories. Class number 1, electric motor rider trucks. Class 2, electric motor narrow aisle trucks. Class 3, electric motor hand trucks. Class 4, internal combustion engine trucks, cushion tires only. Class 5, internal combustion engine trucks, pneumatic tires only. Class 6, electric and internal combustion engine tractors. And Class 7, rough terrain forklift trucks. This video addresses only sit-down counterbalance lift trucks, as described under Classes 1, 4, and 5. Lift trucks are also designed to work in specialized areas. Underwriters Laboratories has designed specifications for lift trucks working in hazardous areas. A spark can be created by either an electrical system or internal combustion exhaust, causing flammable material to ignite. Make sure your truck is properly rated for the specific conditions of your job. Before anyone operates a lift truck, they must follow certain safety procedures. Proper safety equipment should always be worn. The wearing of safety equipment, such as safety shoes, is standard operating procedure. Many applications require hard hats, eye protection, or tethers to be worn. When entering the truck, always use a 3-point entry system and fasten your seatbelt. Your specific application may require you to use additional safety equipment. Check with your supervisor. Lift trucks have similar controls as cars do: a steering wheel, accelerator pedal, foot brake, parking brake, and key switch. In addition, lift trucks have a directional control lever and hydraulic control levers. On most trucks, the first lever activates the lift and lower control of the forks and mast. The second activates the mast tilting action. The third works as an auxiliary function for an attachment such as a side shifter or a clamp. Remember, using attachments requires specialized training. Lift trucks need to be highly maneuverable to work in tight places. That's why they steer from the rear. Watch out for tail swing when traveling forward. When cornering, keep the front wheels close to the inside aisle and start turning. This allows room for the rear end to swing out in the opposite direction. Before you pick up a load, make sure your forks are spread as far apart as possible and are long enough to stabilize the load. And remember that the forks must be at least 2/3 of the length of the load to keep it balanced. If the load is over your lift truck's capacity, it must be broken down into smaller loads or use another truck with the proper capacity. While traveling, make accelerating, braking, and turning a smooth and fluid motion. This will minimize the chance of the load falling off the forks. Keep in mind that 14% of all fatalities involve someone being hit by a falling load. Loads must be stable before you move them. Never reach through the mast to reposition a box. Instead, get off the truck. Make sure the load is against the load backrest extension with the mast slightly tilted back. The pallet should be no more than 4 inches off the ground while traveling. On September 21st, 1995, a 31-year-old man was loading a trailer. A box fell off the top of a pallet and onto the floor. The operator put the truck in neutral and went to pick up the box. He did not engage the parking brake. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Cause of death: suffocation. Bumps, rough or uneven surfaces, and debris demand your full attention. These can upset your load or unbalance your lift truck. Drive with extra caution when in these environments. If you are carrying a large load that blocks your view, travel carefully in reverse. Use all of your field of view to guide yourself. Wet floors can be a real hazard. Braking and steering can become greatly reduced or non-existent. Drive slowly on wet surfaces. Before lifting, you should do a quick mental check to question things such as the weight of the load. Is the load stacked securely? And will it fit in the rack? Remember, only raise the load when you have come to a complete stop and are in good position for the lift. Make sure the path is clear and tell anyone nearby to stand back because you will be lifting. Once the load is in position, tilt the mast so that the pallet is level and slowly lower the pallet until it rests on the rack. When the forks are clear, lower them while remaining at a complete stop. Some operators think it's okay to lift and lower the load while they are traveling. Wrong. The lift truck must be completely stopped. Watch out for overhead hazards such as sprinklers, heating systems, and low-hanging doorways. Electric trucks can also brake by changing the direction of the forward-reverse control lever. This is called plugging. It's a common way to stop the truck, although the foot brake is quicker and more dependable. Remember to stay inside of the driver's compartment at all times. Do not place your hands or feet on or outside of the overhead guard. This is a bad habit that causes many serious injuries. When crossing railway tracks in a lift truck, angle your truck and proceed slowly. Cross the tracks one wheel at a time to stay in balance. Crossing railway tracks directly will make your truck unstable. All floors and elevators have weight restrictions. Remember to combine the weight of the truck and the load to determine the total weight. For travel on ramps, the load must always be uphill, so back down ramps with a load. And drive forward up a ramp with a load. If the load blocks your view, ask someone to direct you. Remember, never turn on an incline, since the truck has a greater chance of tipping sideways. The forks must only be raised enough to clear the grade. When you are finished using the truck, park it in a designated area and remember to turn off the key. Never park in a fire lane or block a doorway. Lower the forks so that they are flat on the ground. Put the controls in neutral with the parking brake on. Turn off the valve on the propane cylinder to prevent a fuel leak. Disconnect the battery connectors if using an electric power truck. Loading docks are busy places for pedestrians and equipment. On average, a lift truck may pass over a dock 100,000 times per year, so there are plenty of chances for accidents. Statistics show that over 7% of accidents happen in the loading dock area. If the area between the trailer and the dock is not safely secured for any reason, the lift truck can fall through the gap, causing injury or death. A common cause of trailer separation accidents is early departure. This is where a tractor-trailer driver assumes loading or unloading is complete and pulls away from the dock while the lift truck is entering or leaving the trailer. If the lift truck does not have enough time to stop, it can fall off the dock or trailer. Even if wheel chocks are still in place, they offer little protection if the tractor-trailer driver leaves before it is safe. Landing gear collapse is another safety hazard. When the tractor has been removed from the trailer, certain safety precautions must be taken. If the landing gear is weak or corroded, it may collapse due to the weight and forward motion of the forklift entering the trailer. Trailer upending is another hazard caused by the heavy loads being placed in the nose of the trailer that exceeds the counterbalance effect of the trailer's rear axle. Therefore, uncoupled trailers must be secured with a support jack before entering with a lift truck. The most common form of trailer separation is trailer creep. As the lift truck travels on and off the trailer, its momentum inches the trailer away from the dock. To demonstrate this, the wheel chocks have been removed and the brakes released from this tractor trailer. As this moving lift truck stops, its weight forces the entire rig to move away from the dock. This is why the tractor trailer must be safely secured against the dock. Tractor trailer brakes must be engaged and wheel chocks must be properly installed. However, wheel chocks have their limitations and could fail if placed on ice, gravel, or sand. For increased protection against these types of accidents, many companies have installed vehicle restraints that either hold the trailer firmly against the dock by engaging the trailer's ICC bar or by locking the trailer rear wheels with dual steel barriers. Lift truck operators are responsible to ensure the trailer is ready for safe loading or unloading. Once the tractor trailer is secure, carefully position the dock leveler in place. Make sure there is proper lighting. Poor lighting increases the chance for injury and/or product damage. The floor of the trailer must be inspected to ensure it is in good condition, and the combined weight of the lift truck and load do not exceed the maximum weight capacity of the trailer. When backing out, stop at the end of the trailer and look both ways for pedestrians. Accidents on the dock happen every day. By knowing the safety hazards in this area, you can make the loading dock area a safe place to work. Pedestrians are involved in about 40% of all lift truck accidents. 18% of them are fatal. On August 8, 1993, a man was taking inventory in a warehouse. A lift truck carrying a load of boxed metal parts was stacking a load. While backing out, his forks caught the pallet and it fell. Keep pedestrians well away from the lift truck at all times. When traveling, it may be difficult for you to see through the mast and or around the load. Pedestrians may not hear you due to the noise or because they are concentrating on their job. Always follow common sense safety rules to prevent pedestrian accidents. Make sure before you move your truck, the path is clear of anyone or anything. Slow down when approaching blind corners. Use your horn. Stop at intersections, always giving pedestrians the right of way. Use aisleway mirrors to make sure the path is clear. Look behind you before backing up. And don't rely on lift truck mirrors. You can see much more by turning to look. Often, pedestrians will ask for a ride. Lift trucks are strictly designed for one person, the operator. No riders ever. Never lift a person using a lift truck. Not on the forks, not in a cage, and not even in a so-called OSHA-approved man lift basket. 12% of fatalities related to lift trucks involve someone using a lift truck as an elevator. These are just a few of the many safety rules that must be obeyed to ensure a safe workplace. However, every place needs their own set of special safety rules. Your employer should have his own list. Practice driving safely, because safety is no accident. Liquid propane gas is a popular fuel for many uses. When handled properly, it's safe,